Hello, 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 hello. I'm answering questions again because my hands are slightly crippled. And it's hard to type. You can blame one of my fuzzy little children for that. Although it does force me to drink like a proper gentleman. Pinky out. Just like this song, man. Like this song. I'm only doing this for an hour because I kind of have to, because of the little incident we had with our two cats, I kind of have to keep watching the both of them to make sure they're not pissing each other off. Well, I should say one of them not pissing the other one off. So we have to basically reintroduce them to each other, more or less, almost like when we first got the other one. Fun times, fun times. You actually probably see the sprayed ball back there. That's what that's. Me and my wife noticed that our cats seem to respond better to learning through punishment rather than learning through reward. They don't really seem to pick up on learning through reward, but they pick up real damn quick. The fourth or fifth time they do something, then they immediately get sprayed with the water bottle. So if you see me like looking back every few minutes, it's because I'm trying to make sure that the other cat's not trying to like jump over the fucking baby gate we had to go get to keep them separated. Host. What the fucking style thing is most interesting about you? Probably not the applicable there. What did I call this? Tag setting. Node. Maybe. we'll say the like month. How long has it been now? Uh, month and a half. Month and a half since I've left that job. I think I've probably been more productive in the month and a half then than I felt like I ever was at at my actual job. Not that I wasn't getting stuff done on my job, I just didn't really feel like I was doing anything. It's hard to explain. Like you're doing stuff, but it doesn't really feel like you're doing stuff. Certainly written the hell a lot more shell scripts now than I ever did. I really like Zelle. Save stuff. Dark tech. I had about something. After I'm done with this, I need to finish making a blog post I was writing about the shell script I wrote the other day. It's probably like the most put together shell script I ever wrote so far. Even did proper like argument parsing. It's not doing the error handling could be better. Needs better error handling. What else does it need? Needs to be able to print out like usage with like -H or something. Which it doesn't really need to, because it's meant for me to use, not for other people to use. And I wrote the thing, so I know how it works. What else do I really want that script to do? I also really the main thing I really want to focus on with that script, now that I kind of have like a base implementation, is I really want to use it to automatically build some of the complex expressions you can use to dynamically render the text onto a video. That would be really useful. So like have it move, fade in, fade out, change the size, probably the orientation, just cool shit like that. Change colors. Probably a lot of the stuff you would normally do in in an actual video editor, but I could just create some functions in that script to like automatically create certain types of dynamic rendering effects. I would finish writing that post on here, but I don't really feel like fumbling with my fucking keyboard with this hand mostly operating and this one being basically 4 fingers. What? Big rat. Yeah? Yeah, they can't hear you. They don't really want to either. Big old baby. Okay. Shush. Yeah, shush, baby. Cat is such a big cat, dude. What latte? What do you mean, big brat? Like, a little bit. Sweet. The door has opened. Who's got their latte? Who got their baby? Who's got their latte? Who's got their baby? That stinky booty got their latte? Oh, they they did get kinda close earlier. Huh? Yeah, they can't see the door. Well, Mocha kept coming up to like right here at the edge of the desk. So she did it like 2 or 3 times in a row. So on like I think the third time, I had Latte like move back, and I just opened the gate and let her come out. She went to like the kitchen and sniffed around, and like she wasn't really growling at her per se, but she was kind of staying away from her. Which was basically fine until Latte decided to be Latte and start to prance towards her, and I had to spray Mocha because she got real pissy all of a sudden. Yeah. So, but they were probably, I don't know, like 2 persons arm length away, and not being pissy until I noticed Mocha's more tolerant about if Mocha moves towards Latte, not if Latte moves towards Mocha. Yeah. Like, yeah. Worked pretty good so far. I'd imagine. Oh, you can turn the thing down more. Okay. 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 Let me double check. Turn over this way. Okay. The doorway's completely hidden now. My wife's checking on the cat that obliterated my fucking finger.
Baby, you look. And now you get to have the girl on slaughter.
How do you feel about not destroying us? Tell me how you feel about that. Do what?
Bipolar attitude. Plot ruined.
I love you 1 second, then I want to slaughter you the next.
What? She ruined the plot.
I don't think anybody's in here anyway. I just needed to get something up there, so I said I was going to go from like 9 to 10 or something. And I can't type worth of shit right now, so I just did a whole like, oh, if someone pops in with questions, I'll answer questions. We don't like it when you sit there and go, meow, meow, wah.
God.
Mm-hmm. Bruh. Yeah, we literally got her some cat treats that are made of hemp seeds. And they basically make her like chill out and high as fuck. Oh yeah.
We tried it at the vet. We tried it for Ram. Tried it for Ram. Cat. And one part ever.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently our cats literally don't give zero shits about the catnip. They're like, what is this? Smack away, meow.
Too ironic. They
Nope. The most she's done is like kind of like stood up on her hind legs on it. But every time she did that, I pointed the water ball there and told her to fuck off. She's quit doing it, I think. Which one? Which one? Has she quit growling at her? I mean, she only really growls when they kind of start getting closer to each other. But like from that distance, like she's basically stopped. Yeah, fucking cunt. Yeah, usually if she gets tired of dealing with being pissed off, she'll just goes back up there and lays down. don't know. Yeah, if I was going to give them to her at any time, I would have did it like earlier. Whenever I was letting them look at each other.
Really?
No, I didn't say I did. I said if I was going to,
Yeah.
I would have done it then. GCP. Wow. That bad? Yes, yeah, she's gotten it a couple times. Whenever she would go back from being pissed off, she'd either usually just go straight up air, or she would jump up air, get in the bed, and like knee and lay down for like a minute, and then go back up there anyway, and then go up there anyway. Mm. Yay. Said yay. You smell like butts. Real sick of your shit, you two. Wow. Hmm. Uh-huh. Oh, if she calms down enough, we can, yeah.
Yeah, like early.
Hmm. Clip cat nails in 3 easy steps. 1, get them stoned to shit. 2, clip their nails. 3, yay. There's a very little bit left. If you want, when I'm done, I'll make you the other coffee. If you want, when I'm done, I can make you the other coffee. Okay. I'll make you the lean bean stuff after I'm done. Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, my hands are fine. No. I want water? No, I don't want water. if somebody in Discord is bored, they can pop in here. Yes, of course. Oh, wait, are you already getting coffee? Okay. Okay. What? Oh. I guess you can live without your dog for 30 minutes? Okay. Go back to the retro wave. Hey, listening. Yeah. I think I have another idea for a stream topic that I can alternate off of, which is the whole I'm from West Virginia. Come ask me questions about that. Another thing I've realized after I haven't been like a professional developer for a month and a half is, I don't hate PHP, but I also don't miss using it. It didn't necessarily fit any of the use cases I personally have at this point, so as of right now, most of the stuff that I've been tinkering with is essentially falling under just raw shell scripts or a couple Python scripts. Other than that, I haven't really written anything yet. That might change, especially as I delve deeper into the video editing automation rabbit hole. I also need to think of what images I want to use as promo images for the silence trimming process, the automated silence trimming Feury gig thing I'm going to throw up here soon. Especially maybe sooner out. I got my damn office back from a grumpy ass furball. No, that. Really? Sense. Maybe it is. Okay. Maybe I'm just dumb. No, I need to look up. I need to look up that expression syntax for doing the automatic text, the dynamic text render. Draw text. Text expansion, I think that's what it is. The expansion is set to. So. Yeah, I think this is what I want. What's an example of dynamic text render? Show the text in a random position. Okay, that's not really useful. Show the text line sliding from right to left in the last row of the video. X equals -50 times t. Show text for every 1 second every 3 seconds. Oh, that's thing. It's almost kind of like a flashing. White. X equals. Enable equals less than mod t 3 equals 1. Huh. X equals blink. Is it? The thing about the expressions on these that looks really weird to me is it has these like, I always forget what you call that, forward slashes, and like after certain things, and I'm like, I don't really understand why it's like that. That's a little weird. I guess I could make that like its own argument, like blink text blink frequency and text length I can't talk, text blink duration. So it's like how frequently it blinks, and when it blinks, how long does it stay like that? Use font and prig. Holy shit, I cannot talk today. Font config. Show text fading in and out. Font color equals font color underscore expression. Yeah, see, this thing's huge. Oh, what else do we have here expression wise? Text expansion, if expansion, screen time, sequences of the form, percent, bracket, or expand the text between the braces is a function name. The backslash character followed by any character always expands to the second character. Backslash character followed by any character always expands. Oh. Oh, I understand now. It has the backslashes in between for the commas. So the filter does, so if MPEG doesn't think, that means like this is another filter. Okay, that makes sense. God, this one's like, I guess this is what, delimit. What? That's so weird. What? That makes no sense to me. Bruh. Bonk. Can I not bitch slap my friggin' boom? My pop filters? That would be great. Cop, where'd you get that haircut? I can't tell you, officer. Streams aren't very interesting to watch if no one's actually in there asking questions. Oh well. Content's content, I guess. What makes YouTube's ass happy. Luckily for me, I'm already very used to talking to myself. This is nothing new. Actually, I should say that for that boy. For that. Let's see if I can tweak anything in the script while I'm staring at it. Oh wait, I'm not gonna look up bombs in there. I think isn't there like a Linux alternative to like Illustrator? I'm thinking of the Inkscape. Space Inkscape. Inkscape. I think this is what I was thinking of. Do Inkscape versus Illustrator? You should certainly be able to use it for things like overlays and stuff, so I don't see why not. looks like it's a good thing to mess with. Yay, Inkscape. Professional vector graphics editor. Yeah, boy, sign me up. Slap it in there. Psh. Create Twitch panels with Escape. Simple framer. I have to play with this some more since I actually have my office back, kind of, sort of. Oh yeah, I can even get I can pull that drawing tablet out that I joined from my wife because she got a much fancier one now. I just don't know how easy it will be to set up by default on this environment. Wouldn't be that hard. Oh yeah, I gotta check. Oh. Where am I at? Channel regards to like uploading something consistent. See. So I don't think I went. Yeah, I think it started going live until the 14th. So 12th. Oh shit, yeah, I've done more than a week where I've had something upload every day. It's good. I didn't even realize I passed that milestone. Feels good, man. If I can keep this up, we should be doing pretty good. Just probably doing some other types of content too that you might find a little more interesting. I do think I'm gonna do the one where I'm like, hey, let me show you 3 easy things that I did to mostly cat-proof my office. Because if I hadn't, they would be destroying all of the cables and stuff in my office. Shut down in T-4 minutes. free connection. Oh, that dirt. I don't think I've even logged into this email. Oh, that's stable. That's good. Okie dokie, that's all from me, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all have a good day down. I'll come. Hey, can you tell me how to build a good portfolio for Android developer role? Like, what kind of project should I do? So, I'm not sure I actually know a whole lot about that because I've actually never ever messed with Android development, period. We just never did that at my last job. Maybe something I could tell you to figure out if someone just straight up can't tell you is if there's maybe like a certain company or something you want to work for, look and see what apps that they've made and then basically try to make clones of them to basically show that, hey, I know you use this tech stack, whatever they used to do the Android development, whether it was with, native with something like Java or Kotlin, or if they use something like React Native or something like that. Just try to build something similar in a similar tech stack, so that way when you go to actually apply, it's like, hey, look, I can basically adapt the same workflow you have. I can use the same tools. I would be a very safe investment. That's what I would do if I wasn't sure what to build for a portfolio for a certain type of job. I'm sorry I can't answer your question better. What was my career, I just never had the need to actually do Android development. I think with the exception of us at some point messing around with Flutter. I think we did mess with Flutter, but while I was there, we didn't really build anything from it. I guess another way to answer your question is if you're wondering about what what tools to look into to get an Android developer role, Kotlin's a big thing right now. Kotlin's pretty popular right now. I know React Native, I think, is really popular as well. I'm not sure exactly how popular Flutter is. What do you think is the best book to learn? When you say DS, do you mean data science? Is that what you're asking about? Yeah, if you've already been learning it, You could start out small, even if you build something small that shows that you can actually, yeah, data structures. A good book. And algorithms. So so what specifically are you wanting to learn those for? Are you talking more like you want to learn them just to get through the what is usually as a piece of shit code interview, or are you wanting to like learn them, learn them? Because I'll tell you right now from personal experience, data structures tend to help will tend to help some. When it comes to algorithms, at least the ones that they throw in your face, like in interviews, you barely ever use the shit, to be honest. Like most companies that make you do like algorithm based like code tests, they're literally just like, oh, big fan companies do it, we should do that too, without actually realizing that that probably doesn't mean shit for their company because their systems are nowhere near the point where they need to scale to even worry about whether the person learn them to learn them. I don't know if I'd recommend a book. I think what I would recommend is if you wanted to learn about different algorithms and data structures, there's a site called, I think it was called freecodecamp.org. They have a lot of really good tutorials on data structures and algorithms. What do you think is better for learning for developers, books or video courses? That's kind of subjective, really. I mean, it depends on you. Like some people learn better from reading, some people learn better from like watching someone do it. That's kind of a question you have to answer. Like some people would like to like read the book, stop, kind of follow along and do it. Other people might like to like watch someone doing it in a video and then follow along with them while they're doing it. So again, that would be more, you'd have to do some like trial and error for yourself to see what seems like you're the most receptive to. Yeah, but A14, I would suggest if you, freecodecamp.org has a lot of really good tutorials about commonly used data structures and algorithms. I am personally probably not the best person to ask about that because I don't really know a lot about algorithms because, again, you didn't really use the shit a lot on the job. What project you want to learn do but never did or finished? I'm always starting Emulous Animator. What did I learn and do but never finished? So if I pick up a tool to like just play with it, but don't actually have like a real firm goal in mind, I tend to just play with it and then just kind of go nah and then forget it. What I will say, I wouldn't really pick up a tool unless you need it to build something. So what I'm saying, maybe a better way to put it is, don't pick a tool and don't pick a tool and then try to find a problem to solve with it. That's kind of like what is that analogy? Grabbing a hammer and looking for a nail to hit with it. You need to figure out something that you want to, like you really genuinely want to build or work on, and then figure out the tools necessary to achieve that goal. That's, I guess a good example of that would be how I've been kind of diving more into like basic shell scripting and some stuff with Python in order to automate some aspects of video editing. I personally like learning by teaching though. So what are you, so the coding guy, you're basically saying like you like to learn it to some extent and then try to teach it to someone else, and then by teaching it you actually understand whether you do understand it or not? Is that basically what you're saying? Okay. What I would probably say is you use something like a book or a video to get a basic grasp of it, and enough that you feel like if someone asked you how to do it, you would be able to teach it to them. That's probably what I would do. It sounds like what you want to do. Because I mean, even if you've seen some of the other videos I've posted about these little tricks that I've figured out how to do with like FFmpeg to do video editing without using an editor, like I've actually had people email me asking me questions about, oh, hey man, how do I do like X, Y, and Z using FFmpeg? Like all of a sudden, like I'm some kind of like all-knowing person. I'm like, no, I've been doing this for like a month. I've like maybe figured out like I don't know, like a dozen things to do with FFmpeg. Like most of the FFmpeg like video automation videos that I upload, they're literally like I figured out how to do it yesterday, and then I just immediately do a video on it the next day showing how I did it. It's like what book is that from? I can't remember the book now. It's basically saying like you don't need to be on chapter 10 to teach chapter 1. You just need to be on chapter 2. Can you tell me something about internship? How can I get one as a developer with no experience? Okay, so I'm gonna quote something that I hear a lot from another YouTuber, which I agree wholeheartedly, which is there's basically no difference between an internship and a junior developer role. The only difference is, as an intern, you get paid like shit, and a developer and as a junior, you actually get paid like it's a regular ass job. So don't think because you have no experience, you can't apply to junior developer jobs. When it comes to getting past HR, that's kind of more about your resume and your portfolio. When you get to the coding interview, that's more about, showing off what you actually know and your skills, selling yourself to get yourself hired. That doesn't matter whether it's a junior role or an internship. I personally would never ever touch an internship with a 10-foot pole. I'm in college, that's why I was looking for an internship rather than full-time. You could do that. You could also just ask if they have part-time, which maybe it seems like internship and part-time are the same, but I wouldn't necessarily say they're the same. You can have a full-time hourly wage, but you just don't have full-time hours, if that makes sense. FFmpeg libav is good but hard to learn and use mostly because its API shows. Okay, but then when you do transcode for H.264 AAC and then try to apply the same for, it's not the same. You need to learn specifics sometimes. Yeah, I've probably already encountered those issues before, but I don't know so much about like the really technical details of things like video and audio encoding and like everything that's wrapped up into it, like bit rates, quality, stuff like that I would have probably even noticed the problem. If I'm sure the longer that the deeper I dive down this rabbit hole, I may start to understand those things. But for the most part, I haven't really found using FFmpeg to be that hard to understand. You just have to understand some basic fundamentals about how it works. If you understand the basic fundamentals about how FFmpeg works, everything else you see makes total sense. Like even when you see like what looks like completely fucking weird complex filter graph syntax, if you actually understand that FFmpeg is just operating on streams of data, then it makes total sense and it's super easy to read. Also, the coding guy, like for an example, I actually did a quote internship when I was at college, or but I just did it. I think it was in between one of my semesters or during summer breaks when I did it. But I still got paid like a normal person, I guess is the way to put it. A lot of times when you get internships, you get paid like shit, or you just don't get paid. By the way, don't ever take an unpaid internship. That's bullshit. Okay, they're basically just getting free labor out of you. Don't ever take an unpaid internship. Your time is worth more than nothing, at the very least. Also, A14, if you don't like some of the aspects of how FFmpeg's API is, you just do what I did the other day and write a shell script that basically where this sits on top of one of the filters and makes the API not so cancerous. Specifically with draw text, because holy shit, draw text's arguments are god awful. What tech did I use in my last work? We primarily used PHP and some JavaScript, but the very, very large bulk of it was PHP. For better and for worse. Something to keep in mind, the coding guy, is the tech stacks that you'll see used at different companies. They tend to all be relatively the same within the same geographic region. So an example would be around, let's say if I looked on like LinkedIn or Indeed for a job, like a developer job within, let's say 100 miles of where I live, I'm going to see a lot of very certain things. I'm going to see a lot of Java. I'm going to see a lot of C#. I'm going to see a lot of Angular, and maybe some like Perl sprinkled in. But I'm going to see a lot of Java, C#, and Angular. Just because for some reason in this particular geographic region where I live, that's just a lot of companies use that tech stack. And then as another example, I think one of the YouTubers that I watch a lot that talks about, or used to talk about development stuff, Josh Fluke, where he lives, like I think you said that if you looked for jobs around where he lives, you'd see a lot of like full stack JavaScript tech stacks, so like React on the front end, Node on the back end with like Mongo. But generally the rule of thumb is, the coding guy, if you are wanting to get a job at a certain company or within a certain area, just see what tech stacks they tend to use and then just build a couple small things in a tech stack so that they can see, oh, you are familiar with the technology, and oh yes, you can work within them and build things. That's the most important. Now when it comes to other things, like the more soft skills, like, you know, working in a team, that's something more you gotta kind of demonstrate while you're in like a coding interview by, you know, asking questions if you're confused, or you know, talking them through your problem solving process as best as you can. And just generally tolerating coding interviews, because most coding interviews are complete fucking garbage. So actually, speaking of coding interviews, I have what I would consider a funny story, which is one of the times when I was still looking for another job while I was still employed at the last one. I got a coding interview from a company, okay? And the company primarily used PHP and JavaScript. And you could opt to take the coding portion in either PHP or JavaScript, I said, okay, give it to me in JavaScript. And they basically gave me this function, this block of code that was a function. And no one writes code like this. It was literally called like function A with parameters X, Y, and Z, and every single variable it was using was just some arbitrarily named like letter. And it was like, can you tell me what this function's doing? And I said, I can, but no one writes code like this. So what exactly is this proving? I said, also, by the way, if you have someone that writes code like this and you still let them work there, I don't want to work there for you. Well, it's not the point of the test. I don't give a shit what the point of the test is. Don't give me stuff that serves no damn purpose. If you can't tell, I'm very salty about the state of most places and how they conduct their things like coding interviews, because most of them literally just ride the dick of how like large tech companies do it, and they don't understand that, hey, those large companies do their coding interviews their way because it fits their needs. I somehow really doubt the needs of that large tech company are the same as yours when you've probably even yet to hit the threshold where you have to worry about scaling. Because most tech-based companies never ever even begin to get to the point where they have to consider scaling. That's how do you say that? That's a problem that comes with success. And as we know, most startups don't succeed. Also, nice timing on you and the other dude showing up like a minute before I was going to be like, well, no one's in here, I'm out, bye. But I do very much appreciate both of you coming in here when, because before you two came in here, nobody was in here. And I hope I've been able to give you some information that helps. If I feel like I'm just ranting sometimes, I might be ranting a little. I have some pet peeves that never really got addressed, so... Which is part of the reason why I fucked off and left the career in the first place. Bro, take me back to these one songs. Yes, do this. Give me. It's 10:21. I'm gonna keep this going until 10:30. Then I gotta dip. Really, well, I appreciate that. I didn't really know if anyone really even watched those. I know most of the videos people have seen are either the stuff relating to FFmpeg or the like 2 like Linuxy related videos where I was like, oh, here's how you set up something that allows you to use Spotify but not use their garbage ass Electron app. If at some point here, I am going to make some more videos about software development, like some ideas about how to get into it. Oh yeah, of course. That's kind of the issue with those videos is I just made them because I thought they were interesting, but I understand that like using FFmpeg itself is pretty niche. Well, you might yeah, well, you might actually find the last video I just made more interesting, at least, because while it is kind of mostly about FFmpeg, it was also more about I basically wrote this probably one of the more comprehensive shell scripts I've ever written at this point, that I use to generate the ffmpeg command. Then it's basically a good demonstration of using like variables, case statements, for loops, conditional operators, and things like that in just POSIX compliant shell scripts. Or at least now it should be POSIX compliant after I linked the script in another YouTuber's Discord and I got roasted for it. I said thank you for the roast. I do want to do more Vim videos. It's more about thinking about a way to do it that actually is helpful. Because that very first video, I think at some point I'm going to maybe redo the first video that I made about Vim, because that was like the very first video I made, and bro, I was so fucking awkward in that video. Holy shit. And I feel like I could do a much better job of maybe explaining that whole like, here's a basic video Vim use tutorial thing. I know I did one on configs. I think I want to do one on plugins. That's another thing that I think people get overwhelmed with because there's so many plugins for Vim. Holy shit. What's another good Vim topic? I guess good. I know I showed that like bootstrap Vim config, but I think I might also do one on like, here are some common Vim config things that generally are just very useful to use. I think that was the only thing I had off the top of my head. Also, I guess I could do, this is how you set up Vim for certain types of development. Like, this is how you set up Vim for doing Rust development. This is how you set up Vim for doing JavaScript, TypeScript development, PHP, etc., etc. I thought this might be helpful too. Which auto-completion plugins would be nice. Yeah, there's a couple of pretty decent auto-completion plugins in Vim. I think actually that default bootstrap config thing I made a video on, one's actually included, called COC, I think that's what it's called. If it's not in there, COC is a really good auto-completion plugin that is operable with many languages because it's compatible with the whole like language server syntax. So like as long as you have like a language server for a certain programming language installed, I should be able to use it to do all of the auto completion and IntelliSense and things like that. Yeah, see, it ain't the fastest thing, but it's very powerful. But most of the slowdown comes from when you actually like have it autocomplete, which is why I think most people when they use COC have the option turned off so that it doesn't automatically do autocompletion when you do like dots and stuff. You can do some Git plugins as well, like Fugitive, and yeah. I need to dig into the plugins I even have on mine. Just because since I don't like actively code all the time anymore, I even forget like what half the plugins I have installed in Vim or even forward do. I actually wanted to work on my draw text script some for this stream, but as you can see, my hands are a little fucked up right now because of one of our cats, so. You're welcome, man. Have a good day, man. Thank you for dropping in. It means a lot that someone actually dropped in. Well, I think I'm a dip now too as well. Yep. Y'all come on back now and I'll see you next time.